I met my fiance in a community event. He was with his friends and stuff, and he jumped out of the car to try to talk to me and try to get my number. And he kept pursuing me because I kept seeing him through the event, and eventually it worked because I ended up giving his number and realized that his birthday was 2 weeks from the time that the event had happened. And we associated and started dating. And later on we ended up wanting to live together. And we had a situation where we had our first daughter and had talked about wanting to have kids and stuff, but the first child was not something that we planned quite away, so it was kind of a little bit difficult for our families to deal with it. But as parents, we decided to go ahead and get together. We were planning to get married, but I was at the time going to school, so we ended up getting a house to rent and planned on having our second daughter. Every Sunday we would get together at our different friends, couple friends that had kids' house. We always gathered together to fellowship and just be around friends. And with this particular day, it probably was one of the hardest day for me as a woman, because you never think that things would happen to your families. And but the area was known of high crime and gang-related stuff, but we never lived in fear. We never taught our daughters to be in fear of anything, because we would just educate them and let them know that not everybody's good. Teach them things, fundamental things that parents teach their kids. But this day was the day that he was in the front yard with his friends and I was in the back, and our youngest daughter was there in the front yard, and we heard commotion, and you heard screaming, and all of a sudden you heard guns, and I came running to the front because I knew my daughter was in the front. And people were screaming, and I saw my fiance and my daughter on the ground. The kids, and that's what they were, they killed my fiance. They ranged from the age of 10 to 15 as an initiation to a gang. So they all got tried as juveniles. So how can you, I mean, that's kids. I think that makes it harder, because it's a child taking away a life, and almost took the life of my child. That's why I get mad at the parents. Where were they to educate their kids? I think that's why I work with kids that are hard in my community, because I don't want them to make the bad choices and change somebody's life. I think when you think of marriage, you have to think of insurance, and we talked about it.
But at the time, it wasn't like a priority because you always think you're going to be, since you're young, you're always going to be around. So we kept putting it off. But if I had to do it different, it would be a priority before anything. Just like we didn't have wills. You know, you don't think about stuff like that until you have a tragedy happen to you. So it had to come out of my pocket. But I don't think I would have done it if people in the community didn't step up to the plate. Because I didn't have any money saved. You know, the money we were saving was saving for our wedding, for our honeymoon. So everything had to be given to his funeral. And that wasn't enough either. So if it weren't for friends and family and community, I don't think I would have known how to pay for his casket, pay for the burial and spot, the stone and everything. So it came such a shock to have to so quickly come up with such quick money to give a dignity to bury a loved one. But you don't think about stuff like that because you think nothing like that would happen to you.